I like all this tinsel, but I gotta maneuver a bit to get to my normal seated position. Good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. You know what? That's because my little Muhammad act of kindness. I'd say my low is that last night I really didn't sleep very well. Like, not at all. I mean, I did sleep some, but I don't know, I still feel exhausted and tired. My high is yesterday actually seemed to go by pretty quickly. Like, really quickly. I was actually pretty shocked how fast yesterday went. I mean, it's almost as if it felt like I woke up and then I blinked and it was already time for me to go to bed, you know? I'm sure maybe for some people yesterday felt long, but for me it actually felt pretty quick. And what's my act of kindness? Well, I did let someone go in front of me in order for grabbing something. So there was that. Oh gosh. Full stop. I probably could just use this entire video to sleep, but there's a reason why I'm wearing the jersey right now. We have an NFL game tonight. The Rams and the Seahawks. Now, this is going to shape up to be a pretty great game. Like, a lot of playoff related things will be decided by whoever wins. Now, I will admit, when the season began, I mean, I would have thought, yeah, the 49ers are going to be good. And, I'm sure the Rams and the Seahawks will be okay. I didn't think they'd have as great of a season as they are now. I mean, this really could decide not only who the number one seed is, or who wins the NFC West, but also who the number one seed is for the playoffs. It could very well decide that. In all honesty, I really think this game could go either way. Man, this is rough. I mean, I guess if we're talking about, again, I didn't think the Rams and the Seahawks were going to be as good as they are. But I guess going into the season, I had lesser expectations for the Seahawks. Because if nothing else, the Rams have Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua. I believe they also acquired like a Blake Corum from Michigan when they won the national title, I believe. So, offensively, the Rams definitely looked more impressive. But the Seahawks have actually been really showing up. And I also believe that this game is going to be, okay, I'll be honest. Like, I know that Seattle Stadium has a name, but I've also heard it be called 12th Man, so I just call that stadium 12th Man. Because if you don't know, that stadium is arguably the loudest stadium to play in. So much so that it's almost as if the audience is the 12th player on the field. That's why they call it the 12th man. Although both the Superdome in New Orleans and Arrowhead in Kansas City would probably have a thing or two to say about that. Hmm. I mean, if I really have to choose, and I think I really have to choose, solely based on the fact that, wait, I'm sorry, I don't have my computer. I believe is Sam Darnold on the Seahawks still? Is he the QB for the Seahawks? I forget. Um, well, it doesn't matter anyway because pretty much throughout this whole season, Matthew Stafford's been pretty consistently good. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I think I mentioned something on the lines of back when the Cowboys had just beaten both the Chiefs and the Eagles, like a healthy Dak Prescott is capable of being a top five quarterback. And after they beat the Chiefs, I would have told you he was definitely top two. Number one was Matthew Stafford. So based off of that alone, I'm picking the Rams over the Seahawks. This will be the real test right here. Because if the Rams can actually go to 12th man and win, they can virtually win it. I mean, let's be honest. Everyone knew they should have beaten Philadelphia. Like, everyone knew that. Like, they lost that game because they rested on their laurels and they had not one but two blocked field goal kicks that, were ran back for the Eagles to score points. Like, those two block kicks don't happen. The Rams won that game, pure and simple. And honestly, the Rams have pretty much, kept their foot on the gas from that moment on and really haven't looked back. I mean, I forget what the record is at the moment, but I mean, you don't be in contention for not just winning the division, but the number one overall seed for the playoffs due to lack of trying. I mean, in fact, it's really interesting that I'm talking about this now because the Rams just beat the Lions. And for those of you who don't know, Matthew Stafford used to play on the Lions. In fact, he was the number one overall pick to be on the Lions as the Lions went 0-16. But the Rams decided to trade their QB, Jared Goff, for Matthew Stafford. And just like Tom Brady before him, the instant Matthew Stafford goes to a new and, let's be real here, better team, he wins the Super Bowl. I'm not kidding. Seriously, in 2 years, you had Tom Brady who went from New England to Tampa Bay. And then you had Matthew Stafford who went from Detroit to Los Angeles. Not only did both of those guys win Super Bowls in those respective years, but they were both home Super Bowls. They were home, literally at home, for the Super Bowl. Would you think something like that would have happened a lot more often, but no, really. Only twice has there ever been a home team playing in the Super Bowl, in their actual home stadium for the Super Bowl. I mean, and come to think of it, as of right now, any team that's ever been at home for the Super Bowl is 2-0. So I guess there really is something to, having the Super Bowl at home, I suppose, if it's actually able to happen. I mean, it's almost happened a couple times. I mean, the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl the first time, they played against Minnesota in the NFC Championship game, and Minnesota was the home state. It was going to be where the Super Bowl was. So there's that. Let's see. Yeah, I feel confident saying this. I think the Rams are going to win. I think this will be the game that proves they are for real. That's the team that actually. I mean, with the Broncos being the number one seed right now in the AFC, and if the Seahawks do wind up winning, because again, this game is going to determine a lot of playoff related things. We would have, well, technically, if the playoffs were to start right now, we really would already have the potential for a Super Bowl rematch between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. And hopefully if it does happen, hopefully it'd be a lot better than the last time that happened. If you don't know, the Seahawks completely destroyed the Denver Broncos 43-8. And it was at that point, I've said this before. Back in the day, I really was never that impressed with Peyton Manning. I really wasn't. And the fact that his brother Eli won 2 Super Bowls before Peyton did kind of further cemented that fact. And completely bombing that Super Bowl 43-8, that cemented it for me. But I gotta say the Broncos have been pretty solid this season. They have been. So we really could be getting a Super Bowl 48 rematch. Potentially. I'll talk more about that in a few weeks when the playoffs start. I do my, because if you don't know, I do a top 11 Super Bowl matchups I want to see. If you couldn't tell, I'm also a Nostalgia Critic fan. So don't be surprised if one of those 11 Super Bowl matchups winds up being, the Seahawks and the Broncos. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'd say we're in for a very interesting game this evening. I'm pretty sure that it's going to determine the number one seed in the playoffs probably, or it will damn well get close to it. If we're being honest, because I'm trying to remember who is right now in the driver's seat for, who's in the the NFC is going to be predominantly run by the NFC North and the NFC West, with cameos from the South and the East, pretty much. Because I know the Eagles have been struggling lately after the hot start they had. Yeah. I was trying to say, hey, maybe my Cowboys could, but no, they're not. Listen, I give my Cowboys no shot at this point to make the playoffs. None. None whatsoever. If they couldn't beat the Vikings, they don't deserve to make the playoffs. You needed to win at least 4 games after you guys had lost to the Lions or beat the Chiefs, whatever you want to call it. And you just lost 2 of them. I know they played the Giants and the Commanders at some point. Oh, right, the Chargers. They played the Chargers. Yeah. The Chargers are going to make the playoffs, too, for the AFC. So, yeah, I give my Cowboys, no chance. Best case scenario, the Cowboys don't make the playoffs, but hey, they beat the Commanders and the Giants, so they kind of end their season on a high note. But I'm not shocked by this outcome at all. I will say, though, and I'll talk more about this in a later video, but listen, any coach at this point would have been better than Mike McCarthy. That's why I didn't really have sheer loathing and dislike of Brian Schottenheimer when he was hired to be Dallas' head coach. Because he was clearly going to be another yes man for Jerry Jones. But give credit where credit's due. Brian Schottenheimer's first year, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, to be fair to Mike McCarthy, and this is one of the few times I will be fair to Mike McCarthy, the reason why Mike McCarthy's first season really wasn't that great was solely because that was the year Dak really got injured in that one Giants game. So, yeah. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've exhausted everything I wanted to say in regards to the game tonight. And I just lost my train of thought. Can you tell I'm also tired? Yeah. Actually, how long have I been talking? Huh. I'm talking for a good while now. Granted, I think maybe a minute 30 is dedicated to me making this I want to say pose and face at the same time, so I just said pose. Oh gosh, I should really stop before something awkward happens. So, yeah, I'm picking the Rams to win. I think the Rams will be the number one team going to the playoffs. Let's hope I'm right. I hope you all like this video, and if you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow social media. As always, I'm for helping this video. For all you guys watching, Joe, and have a wonderful Thursday. I forgot the day of the week. Of course I did. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, to let me know it's back. Take care, make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Considering I didn't really get a chance to make any NFL picks this past weekend due to the Why I'm Still Here series of videos I made, as well as the fact I'm going to have to do it on Sunday as well, it was nice to talk football again.